Alrighty, morning everyone, and welcome back to another beautiful video on this beautiful channel on another beautiful day. In today's video we are going to talk about gold. Isn't that nice? Yeah, gold's very nice metal, very good for investment purposes and for protection against all kinds of financial thingies. So yeah, we're going to talk about gold today, and more precisely we're going to talk about whether or not you should buy it. Well, makes sense, I guess, in this context, but gold really is a quite expensive metal, so I guess it makes sense to first of all think about why you should even bother buying it. If you can buy silver, which does similar things, there are some very good reasons to buy gold, and we're gonna go through all of those today. But first of all, I'm gonna show you the gold and silver prices, because I think that's a very useful thing to know. There we go. We'll start with silver, and this is in euros, but it doesn't matter because euro and dollar is basically the same at this point, so there you go, it's about 18 bucks. And the price of gold is right here, and that's around 1,700 bucks. So you can already tell gold is a good chunk more expensive than silver. So why should you bother buying it if you could just buy silver? Well, gold has some very interesting benefits over silver. First of all, being the markup. Probably most of you already know that silver has a very significant markup at the moment, going upwards of about 33%, so about 1/3 per ounce. That's a lot. That's a lot. Because if you think about it, silver coins like these normal 1-ounce silver coins, like this 1-ounce silver Australian kangaroo out of the year of 2019, these coins are made for investment purposes, right? For investment. It is very hard to stretch 33% markup to a point where it counts as an investment. Honestly, I don't see it anymore. I don't see that being an investment because 33%, good luck getting that out of it. So you obviously also have coins like these. Coins with a little bit of investment purpose, a little bit of collector's purpose, like this Fraser's Dolphin from the Royal Australian Mint. This is a Perth Mint coin. Difference, but they produce very similar stuff. These are also two Perth Mint coins, two gold coins for that matter. We've got a 1-ounce Lunar 3 Tiger out of the year 2022 and a 1-ounce gold coin with the Australian kangaroo on it from 2019. Both of those coins are gold coins, obviously. But what is the difference here? The difference here is that you're paying about 40% over spot for those, and you can pay, well, not for these anymore, but you could have paid 5% over spot for those when they came out. Obviously, they are worth more now because they are older coins, and the Lunar Tiger actually went up in value quite a bit. But you get my point, right? If you're buying gold bullion, you can get down to as low as 1% and even lower than that for fine gold bullion. Bullion bars, not coins, but it doesn't matter. Less than 1% of markup in comparison to over 1/3 of markup. It's absurd, it really is. So yes, gold is expensive. Gold is an expensive metal. I would never say that it's not. But if you compare it to silver, if you compare the same amount, if you want to invest the same amount of money into both metals, you're just getting way more actual metal value if you're buying gold in comparison to silver, because you're paying 1/3 in markup. The markup is a number that might stick to the silver in the future, but it might also not. It might just completely fall out of it, and then it's worth exactly the amount of silver that you bought it for. That would suck. Can't happen with gold. You're buying the metal. You have barely any markup with the amount of money that you pay. So, honestly, I can certainly understand why people nowadays just say, oh, well, I don't bother with silver or whatever, platinum and stuff like that, even though platinum has less of a markup now than silver is, crazy world. But I understand that. I understand why people say, I don't want to pay 1/3 in markup. I just want to get some metal. And you get that with gold. You really do. You don't have to pay a lot of markup. Barely any, actually. If you're buying like big amounts, for example, if you're buying kilo bars, you can get the markup down to 0.5%. At least over here in Europe. I don't know how it is in the States, but let me know that, actually. Let me know. I'm interested in that. But It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous if you compare it to silver. I don't understand where that markup is coming from silver. Gold is a metal that is mined in very, very similar ways to silver, right? Even less so, because honestly, most of the silver production nowadays comes from secondary production sources like copper mines and zinc mines and nickel mines and stuff like that, right? That's where most of the production of silver comes from. So there's not a lot of production costs involved with that. And these mines are going on and on and on anyways, regardless of the silver. Gold is mined primarily in gold mines, right? It's not really produced as a secondary metal in some other mining operations. So, if anything, gold should have the massive markup and not silver. Where is it coming from? Really, I don't get it. I just seriously don't. But I guess that's the thing nowadays. So yeah, but basically my point is that I can definitely understand that people say, okay, I'm just gonna buy gold and not bother with silver. Which is unfortunate because silver is a very, very important metal for our future, most likely, right? And so I really don't really understand why precious metal dealers and mints and stuff like that just created this cloud around silver that just makes it not very desirable anymore to some people. And I, as I said, can understand that. I see the point. Not that I would not buy silver anymore because of that, but I really can see why people are upset about that. And besides that, as far as protection from financial crises go, gold does the same thing as silver. So if you just want to protect yourself financially, gold is basically the same thing as silver. It does exactly the same thing, right? And even better sometimes. If you look back at history, it does that for a longer period of time and much more stable than silver does. So, and yeah, I mean, okay, you've got gold was prohibited at some point as well in the United States, but come on. Have you looked at that? Have you looked at the law that was created back then? You couldn't own gold besides up to 5 ounces of investment coins or anything that's related to art or anything that was a collector's item or. So realistically, it was just like a message of saying, hey, please don't collect too much bullion. That was it, because basically that was not prohibited. I mean, you can't really call it that. If you look at the law, that's barely anything that you couldn't have. So I would say not too bad, but of course there have been much more strict prohibitions of precious metals and gold and stuff like that in general. But for example, over here in Germany, we have had that in the 1940s, which was probably the darkest time that any country has ever seen. But back then we had basically owning any precious metals was extremely illegal and you were killed for owning them. So, but that didn't only apply to gold, that applied to any precious metals. So silver, all the platinum group metals, and of course also gold. But yeah, you get the point, right? So, should you buy gold? I would say so. But that obviously depends on your opinion on it. Why are you buying precious metals in the first place? If you're just buying them to protect yourself from financial problems, I would reckon that gold is probably not a bad idea. Obviously, that's just my opinion and no financial advice. So you go ahead and make up your mind to whether or not you want gold. If you don't, then don't buy it. But I would say it's a pretty good alternative to the ridiculous markups that we're seeing on the silver market at the moment. Of course, silver is also very manipulated. So it might not be the case that silver is actually at its valuation that it should be at. I would actually reckon that it's not. But gold kind of has the same thing. It's less manipulated, obviously, way less. And it's obviously also worth a good chunk. But, gold might be a good alternative to silver nowadays. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. Tell me what you think about that. Tell me your opinion about it. Tell me whether or not you would want to buy gold instead of silver. And if you want to know anything else, be sure to write it in the comments below. I'd be very happy to answer that, as always. And if you want to, you can also rate the video with either like a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whatever you might want to do. And you can also subscribe to the channel because that would make me very happy. So yeah, Thank you very much for watching. Have a fantastic week. Keep on stacking, and until next time.